Hello and welcome to an episode of Ask Kate. I'm glad to be here with you today. Thank you for joining me. Ask Kate is brought to you by the Children's Tumor Foundation. Today I'm going to talk a little bit about some of our really fantastic youth programs. Several of these programs are fairly new. We have a wonderful employee, Julie, who's in charge of our youth programs, and she's really expanded what we're able to do with the help of our fantastic NF community and the volunteers that she works with. So I'm just going to go over 4 opportunities that are really fantastic and available to anyone who is a youth or who has children who are impacted by NF in any way. So the first one we've actually talked about a little bit before. This video is meant as a way of an update to when we talked about classrooms that care. At that point it was a really new program and it was still kind of finding its legs, and now it really has grown and taken off and exploded. Classrooms That Care essentially is a curriculum that's been developed by Julie with the help of social workers, NF parents, teachers, and other leaders in the field that actually touches on Common Core curriculum. So it really integrates well into a classroom, and it provides a week of STEM lessons that are interactive and related to living with NF and how NF impacts an individual in the world. It's a really fantastic opportunity for kids to talk to their classmates about having NF, and we've seen in the past that education is a huge component in addressing bullying or any kind of social issues that a child might be experiencing at school, like feeling left out or misunderstood. So I really want to encourage you to check out that program. In fact, this fall they're expanding it to include a virtual field trip, and that is going to be called the NF Experience, and it'll be an interactive opportunity for people to learn more about what it's like to move through the world when you are living with NF. So I want to encourage you to check that out. I'm going to make sure that all of the links to these things are included down below this video today. The next thing I want to tell you about is NF Camp. Now this is not new. NF Camp has been a cornerstone of Children's Tumor Foundation and the way that we care for our youth in the community for a long time. Obviously COVID really threw us for a loop, and last summer Julie did an absolutely phenomenal job of creating a virtual NF camp for our kiddos. I was able to attend a couple of those sessions, and it was fantastic to see all of their faces and be able to talk with them about, how they're doing and what life is like for them. This was last summer in the midst of the pandemic. And so, this program was originally started in 1997, and we've been doing this camp out in Utah for many, many years. It really has a huge impact on the lives of children and young adults who are living with NF, to really be able to create a safe community for them to flourish. Their goal is to be able to be back in person for camp in 2022. But don't be discouraged. Julie will once again put together some really awesome opportunities for kids virtually this summer in 2021. So be sure to check that out and get involved if you've got a child or if you're a young adult living with NF. Third, let's talk a little bit about a brand new program called Next Gen NF. These are monthly community nights. So every month, CTF hosts a virtual community night for teens and young adults. So this is for 15 to 30-year-olds, so for our little bit older ones. The monthly activities kind of vary, and it's usually about 2 hours long. They've done a lot of different really fun things. They've watched movies together and other interactive things. So be sure to check that out. It's usually hosted and organized by our NF mentors, which is really fantastic. So it's not just a CTF staffer in charge the whole time. It's really put together by our volunteers who are living with NF themselves and have taken on a bit of a leadership role in that way. So registration usually is $10. It's a Zoom thing, and the details are sent out the day of the event, but you can register online. And again, all these links will be below. And that one is called Next Gen NF. Last, in 2020, we launched a campaign that's called Connect to Fight. This is live stream fundraising. So for those of you who aren't familiar with sort of the online world of live streaming, I wasn't too familiar before this program got started, but essentially it's created for those who are familiar with it and who do stream. So if you or your NF hero loves YouTube or Twitch, online gaming, giving people tutorials, maybe doing makeup tutorials or art tutorials, whatever it is, if you've got a kiddo in your house who's impacted by NF, or you yourself are impacted by NF and you're involved in the world of streaming, this is the opportunity for you. So anyone you know who's considered a content creator, an influencer who streams regularly, maybe people watch them play their video games or something like that, can get involved with Connect to Fight. Even people who are not impacted by NF, but maybe they are, like an online bit of a celebrity or someone that in your social circles who is streaming and might be interested in working with us. But essentially, they're always recruiting new people, and they do these events and are able to fundraise in that way through these live streamers and online influencers. So it's a really fantastic program, and it was really fun to watch it develop and grow in 2020. So I'd encourage you to check that out. Sometimes it's fun for me just to tune in and watch what's going on during the fundraising events. So I would certainly encourage you to try that. So that's what's going on with our youth programs right now. I hope you'll take some time to click through the links and check those out. I really love that CTF is not only dedicated to funding research to end NF, but to have a meaningful impact on those who are living with NF by working with and for this community. It's an honor and a privilege, and I'm so glad to be here with all of you. So check those things out, try to get in on some of the fun, and we'll see you here next time. Thank you.